Simple tips to remember words. Learning English for beginners. Remembering new English words can feel like trying to hold water in your hands. You see a word, you look it up, you repeat it a few times, and somehow, the next day, it's already slipped away. It happens to everyone. But there are tricks and habits that can make it a lot easier and sometimes even fun to keep those words in your memory for good. A big part of remembering words is just seeing them over and over again, but it doesn't have to be boring. One of the simplest ways is to connect the new word to something you already know. For example, if you're learning the word apple, don't just say it out loud. Picture a red apple in your mind, remember the taste, or even think about a time you shared apples with friends. The more senses you connect to a word, the easier it sticks. Sometimes drawing a little picture beside the word helps, even if you're not an artist. It's not about making a perfect sketch, it's about making the word feel real. Context is a powerful tool. It's much easier to remember apple if you see it in a real sentence, like, I eat an apple every morning, rather than just on a list. If you want words to stay in your mind, use them in sentences that relate to your own life. Write, I bought an apple at the market today, or my favorite juice is apple juice. These personal connections make a word part of your story, not just something random from a book. Speaking of stories, turning new words into a short story can work wonders. Take 5 or 10 new words and try to fit them all into a silly or funny story. It doesn't need to make sense to anyone but you. Sometimes the stranger or more personal the story, the easier it is to remember. If you can make yourself laugh, even better, the emotional boost helps your brain hold onto the words. Some people like to keep a notebook or a journal, but not everyone loves writing. If notebooks aren't your thing, try using your phone. Whenever you see a new word, type it into a notes app. Snap a photo of something and label it with the English word. The goal is to make words a part of your everyday world, not just something you see in a lesson. If you're feeling creative, make digital flashcards with pictures, your own voice recordings, or even little videos. The more ways you play with the words, the deeper they sink in. Review is key, but review doesn't have to be boring. Instead of reading a long list over and over, try mixing things up. Write the words on sticky notes and put them around your house, on the fridge, the mirror, the door. Every time you walk by, you get a free review session. Or play simple games with yourself. Try covering up the English word and seeing if you remember it from the picture or the other way around. Some people use flashcard apps that automatically bring back words you tend to forget, which helps you focus on what's most difficult. Speaking words out loud helps too. Say new words as you walk, cook, or get ready for bed. Whisper them, shout them, use different voices, whatever makes you smile. If you have a pet, teach them new English words. They won't correct your accent, but they'll listen patiently. Some people even record themselves and listen back, hearing how they sound. Speaking and hearing yourself makes the words feel more natural and you'll remember them longer. Making connections between words is another smart trick. Group words by topic, color, feeling, or anything that links them together. For example, learn sun, rain, cloud, and wind as a weather group, or knife, fork, plate, and glass, 4 things in the kitchen. When you think of one, the others will come to mind too. It's a lot easier to remember a cluster of words than a long, random list. Sometimes it even helps to draw a little mind map or chart just to see how everything fits together. Songs and rhymes are secret weapons for memory. Think about how easy it is to remember song lyrics, even years later. Look for simple English songs or nursery rhymes and learn new words through music. Make up your own silly tunes for tricky words or turn your vocabulary list into a rap. The rhythm and melody make things stick, even if you don't think you have a good singing voice. Another tip is to use new words right away as soon as you learn them. Don't wait for the perfect sentence or situation. Slip new words into your next message, your next shopping list, or even your next search on the internet. If you can use a new word 3 or 4 times in the first day, it's much more likely to stay with you. If you forget, that's normal. Just look it up again and try once more. Every time you use a word, you're telling your brain it's important. Sometimes learning with others helps too. Teach a new word to a friend or family member, even if they don't want to learn English. When you explain a word or use it in a conversation, you remember it better yourself. If you have friends who also want to improve their English, play little word games, quiz each other, or make up stories together using new vocabulary. You'll be surprised at how quickly you remember things when you're having fun with someone else. Don't worry about making mistakes. Forgetting a word doesn't mean you failed, it's just part of the process. The brain needs repetition and sometimes a little rest before things stick for good. Be patient with yourself. The words that really matter will come back to you, especially if you keep seeing, hearing, and using them in new ways. Over time, you'll realize you're remembering more and more without even trying. Finally, celebrate the small wins. Maybe today you remembered the word for umbrella at the perfect time or used delicious to describe your lunch. Those little moments are proof that what you're doing is working. The best part about learning words isn't just knowing more, it's feeling more comfortable and confident each day. Every new word you remember is another piece of the puzzle that lets you express yourself and connect with the world in new ways.